the key there is like, where are we right now organizationally? And that's why I said what I said the other day. Like we just want a chance. Last year we gave ourselves a chance. We know we are not, where we were 5-6 years ago. But we did win a championship, 3 years ago. I just don't want anybody to think like that we're all disillusioned and we're thinking like, hey, we should be competing for titles year in and year out with San Antonio and Oklahoma City the next few years. That's not realistic.
Staggering honesty from Steve Kerr regarding where Golden State is right there. Saying specifically, as you just heard, I don't want anyone thinking we're delusional, should be competing for titles year in and year out with San Antonio and OKC. That's not realistic. Caroline, I love a coach, and I've said this often, I love a coach that uses their podium to actually be honest. I think in today's world of fandom, where we have more information than ever, it's important that you be transparent with your fans. But this has to be jarring for Golden State fans to hear their coach admit out loud, hey, we're not delusional. We know we're not on the same level as those two teams.
It stings to hear if you're a Warriors fan, but if you're a Warriors fan or not, you can't look at the product that we've seen and say, okay, yes, that's a team that can go toe-to-toe with the Thunders and the Spurs of the world. So I'm with you. I do appreciate his honesty there, because nothing drives me more up a wall than when a coach or a GM or an owner or a front office member just assumes that their fan base is stupid and blows smoke up everyone's behinds and acts like everything is all hunky-dory and peachy and rainbows and butterflies, when we all have eyes and we have enough sports acumen to see the product just isn't good enough. So I do appreciate the honesty there, and it's not something that I think we get from coaches or front office members enough. But with that being said, as much as I love the honesty, you can't say those things and be as transparent as Steve Kerr just was and say we are not in a position to compete right now and then do nothing about it. You can't just sit on your hands and continue to run back the product and the team that you have night over night over night that you are admitting is not good enough without trying to make moves to be good enough, to be the team that can contend with the Spurs and the Thunders of the West, to create a championship contender. You cannot admit that your team is not there and then do nothing about it.
That's the hardest part, is that all of this feels very open and honest. All of this does feel like Kerr, who I think at his core just doesn't really give a damn what any of us think about what he has to say. He speaks from the heart and speaks in what he thinks is a very honest way, right? So to me, I don't think that there's like a hidden veiled message here, but he's definitely saying our roster is not where it needs to be. And so the follow-up question is, well, how do you fix that? And I don't know that there's a right answer here, Caroline, because certainly you could turn around and say, we got to put better pieces around Steph. Well, like, they haven't been trying to do that. Like, that's obviously what Golden State would want. And then the other side of it is, well, maybe you have to trade Steph and just start a full rebuild. And I don't think you can do that. There's certain players, whether it's Dirk or Kobe, there's certain guys that just are synonymous with their organization. Like, you think of Golden State and you think of this chapter, you think of Steph Curry. And certainly, like, I love an idea where Steph can go compete for a championship in the last year or two of his career. I understand that. But also, I understand the way we talk about the legacy of guys that stay in one place forever. I understand the legacy and what it means for certain players to be part of certain franchises. So I would love to look at Golden State and say, figure it out, put better around Steph, because they can't trade him in my mind. But also, I don't think that there's something they suddenly put around Steph that makes them better than OKC. So I feel like Golden State weirdly is trapped by the success they've had and by what Steph Curry means to the organization.
It's hard to put into words what Steph Curry means to the Warriors organization. He is one of those guys that plays for one team his entire career, starts a Warrior, retires a Warrior, wins championships with the Warriors. But warm fuzzies don't win you championships. So if you get a king's ransom of an offer, we are exactly 1 month away from the NBA trade deadline. So maybe it doesn't happen this year. Maybe it happens next year. Maybe it happens the year after that. If you get an absolute haul of an offer for Steph Curry, if you're Golden State, you have to consider it. Yes, it would hurt. And yes, there would probably be riots in the streets for trading away a guy that means more to his organization, maybe more than any other individual player means to his respective team in the association. But if you aren't going to win a championship with Steph Curry now, which Steve Kerr just admitted, we are not in position to win a championship right now. The warm fuzzies and the good feelings that you get from retaining Steph Curry won't win you a championship any faster than the picks that you might get in return, or the players, the young players that you might get in return in trading Steph Curry. Maybe moving on from Steph Curry is what the Warriors need to extend this window rather than just trying to ride out the peepops and the unks that you currently have on the Warriors roster. Now, I'm not saying the Warriors should do this, but I am saying that if they get an absolute haul in return, you have to consider it.
You aren't wrong, by the way, in the sense that, like, I'm old enough to remember when none of us would have ever imagined that the Bulls would suddenly just not be good for a long, long, long time. And I don't know the right answer to honoring the history that you've had and the past that you've had and honoring the great players that are part of that the way, however they want to be honored. I don't know the right answer to this, Caroline, but certainly it's not hard for me to look at this and imagine waking up in 3 or 4 years in OKC and San Antonio and whoever else in the West has just left Golden State behind. And then all of a sudden, Golden State's just another basketball team. Also, none of this is helped by Draymond. We should mention here, Draymond ejected again over the weekend. That's his second ejection in 7 days. I just, at this point, for all the things that they're trying to figure out in Golden State, one thing you got to figure out is, like, where's the juice squeeze sort of thing here? The juice for Draymond just isn't worth the squeeze to me over and over and over again. It's fine. When you're one of the best players in the world on one of the best teams in the world and you're a pain in the ass, everybody accepts it. But, man, you can't be a Paducah 6 out here acting like you're a New York 9. Like, it's just there is no longer a world where Draymond is worth the drama that comes with Draymond. I would love to see Golden State send him somewhere else just because I'm tired of hearing about Draymond, Golden State, and not having enough wins to make the drama really worth it.
Shout out to Paducah, by the way. The best Jimmy John's I've ever had in my life is in Paducah, Kentucky. Hashtag
Paducah,
not sponsored.
Kentucky, undefeated. Yeah.
Undefeated, truly, on road trips. I'm so tired of Draymond. I'm so exhausted with the extracurriculars. This is his second ejection in 7 days. It's always something with Draymond. It's him complaining. He's whining. He's talking in post-game press conferences. He's talking on his podcast. Draymond at this point is so much more of a headache than he is an asset. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. And if I am tired of it, I have to imagine that Warriors fans are exhausted with it. I have to imagine that Warriors organization, that locker room, is tired of it. It's just, it feels like same stuff, different day with Draymond. It feels like every single day we wake up and there's some new negative Draymond Green news. I'm over it, Fitzy. I don't know what the Warriors do with him moving forward.
Yeah, he's at this point, he's an NBA equivalent of the Kardashians. Like, he's famous, but none of us really remember even why he's famous. He's just not worth it at this point.
The crybaby. He's famous for being a crybaby at this point.
You are right. What is worth it is the newly launched Yahoo Sports NBA page. You can find it YouTube at Yahoo NBA. Be sure to check out the freshly launched Yahoo Sports NBA page. Again, Yahoo. It's YouTube at Yahoo NBA. Don't want to miss that. All right, we'll keep breaking down everything that we saw from the weekend. Wild chaos across the NFL. Greg Jennings going to join us next. We'll get his thoughts on the league, where it is right now, and what we've seen over the weekend.